Hello, my name is Jess and I'm the Photo Sage, and I'm going to be doing a photo edit with you today. I'm going to be showing you how I add textures to my portraits. As you can see, this portrait, I already edited it a little bit here. I just had to bring the exposure up because, as you can see, when I took this picture, it was really dark. But luckily, I shoot raw, so I was able to get it all back. Just being transparent there. So my editing process might be unique. It might not be unique. I don't know if I've ever seen a photographer do this, though. Like, usually, especially with portrait photography, you're usually looking to not spend a lot of time on editing. But if I'm going to be honest, editing is my favorite part, and I've learned the most about photography through editing. So I go from Lightroom to Photoshop, back to Lightroom, and I can spend a couple hours on a picture. I don't mind that. But if you are looking for something that's more efficient or something that's more technical, I might not be the place to be. There might be other photographers out there that can help you get to where you need to go. Really, I'm an artist more than I am a traditional portrait photographer. So I like to experiment, and through experimentation, I'm able to get a nice feel in my portraits. So here we go. I'm going to begin my process here. First, I'm going to put it in Photoshop. Oh, sorry, my phone's going off. Go over to Photoshop here, and then, oops, sorry. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, so now I'm going to add texture. I don't use Photoshop for a lot of editing. I do skin retouching. Her skin looks like that just because I shot it when it was kind of dark. But I'll fix that once I go back into Lightroom. But I do skin retouching in Photoshop. I'm not going to do that today. But I do skin retouching in Photoshop, and I do textures in Photoshop. But other than that, I do everything else in Lightroom. I would do it all in Lightroom, except you can't add textures in Lightroom that I know of. And I don't like the skin touch-up in Lightroom. I think it's just not for me. So here we go. First, I'm going to add some textures, and I'm actually going to go back here. I have these wonderful light leak textures that I created, and you can find them in my shop. That will be linked in the description. Let me see, what do I want to... I think I want to go for something kind of earthy, right? Like something like this, maybe. So I'm going to add that one. And I want the light side to be... The light is coming from the left-hand side, so I'm going to make sure that light side of that texture is on that side. And I want the shadows to be on the other side. And then we have a nice, beautiful image here. Let's see. So I've got screen... My favorites are usually I like soft light, sometimes exclusion, and screen. I think I'm actually going to add another texture, though. I really like where this is going and the feeling this is giving me, but I kind of want more. So I'm going to add another texture. I'm sorry, again, my process might be weird. I don't know. I haven't seen anyone edit the way I do. So whether it's weird or not, this is what works for me, and this is how I get the look I get in my portraits, and I'm kind of happy with them, so I'm not gonna conform to how others think I should. See, I like it a little bit more misty. See that? It adds a little bit more, what's the word for it? Atmosphere. And it brings up shadows too. I really like adding textures for that reason, because if I have really dark shadows, it kind of lightens them a little bit. So now I'm going to save it in, if I hit save here, and then it'll go back to Lightroom. I have a lot on my computer right now, so it kind of takes it a minute. So I apologize for that delay. But once we go back to Lightroom here, see, that's the original picture. Now it's going to upload with the new and improved picture. See, look at that. Look at the color. Okay. It does add a lot of grain, though, but I love grain, so I'm good with that. Like I said, I'm more of an artist than a portrait photographer. I don't want my picture to be too clean. Like, it makes me feel uncomfortable, and that doesn't make sense. I know that doesn't make sense, but it might come from, I come from a perfectionist background, and it took a lot to get rid of that need to be perfect. And the basically, the rougher I get with photos, the better I feel about them. See, I like that. It softened it up a lot, but it still kind of has that noisy feel, like in her eyes. See, a lot of people wouldn't like this. I like that though. This is my jam. I like this, but I also like to I like to add a lot of contrast once I'm to this point. I love dehaze. Dehaze is my favorite lever in Lightroom. Okay, see, look what I can do. Dehaze. I can like completely, and that doesn't look good, but I really like where it can take me. Like, I like using this on landscapes and stuff too. All right, let's see. See, now it's nice and filmy. I like when it looks like filmy. Bring the exposure up just to, maybe not. Let's see. And then I like to also go over the, these are the presets that just came in Lightroom. But I like to see, sometimes it gives me inspiration to add another layer. See, like that. I really like the warm and moody. I like pictures that have that old, like, 70s, 80s feel. And a lot of pictures from that time have that, like, red tint, so I kind of like that. Should I go with the warm and moody? Let's just try to see what happens. Let's see. I'm going to add more texture here. I'm going to add more blacks. And now I'm going to go up a little bit. And also with this, like, with her eyes, I can actually just sharpen them. And this is something I do in Photoshop too a lot. But just, it's actually on, but I want to just, like, give them a little more pop. So I'll just add a little clarity, makes them a little darker. And if you really, you add the textures, then you realize, oh no, I don't like it so filmy, so grainy. You can go down to detail here, add some luminance, which really softens it. And then on top of that, I sharpen it. See, so it makes it a little bit cleaner. I kind of like that, but then if I turn it off, see, there's the grainy. It just softens it just a little bit. But I like the noisy. I'm kind of digging the noisy. And then I like to put it in black and white, see what that looks like. Add a little bit more clarity. And then if I feel like I want some more shadows back here, I can just use this gradient tool, bring it down a little bit, make it a little bit darker. I don't know, see, that's like, if you look at, so that's where it came from in Photoshop. That's what it looked like when we brought it, and then we brought it over, we made it this. But before that, that's what it looked like. So, I mean, it really depends on what you want. Like, if you're looking for something that has a little bit more style, maybe has a little bit more of a lifestyle feel, or something even that, like, harkens back to an earlier time of photography, like, adding textures is a really cool way. And it's also a good way to, like, add color or to change the color temperature of your photo, right? Like, if you look at this one, it has a really cool temperature, it has a lot of, like, blue in it, which this is a beautiful picture as it is. And a lot of people would be okay with this, or, that shadow's pretty dark. But, like I said, remember, I shot it too dark. But a lot of people would be okay with this. Seeing it's nice, and if I, like, take down the texture here, see, and I can soften her skin and add a little bit of clarity, add a little bit more, just bring that up just a little bit. And even if I added luminance to this one, right? See, I don't, like I said, I'm anti-perfectionist. So if I take a picture that's too dark, I still make it work. See, so that's kind of nice without doing any skin retouching or anything. That's like a nice photo. But that's a photo stage photo. That's the kind of picture I want to create. That's the kind of feeling I want to emote. And I guess not everyone would understand that, but that's just, yeah, that's my process. And I experiment. Like I said, I love this grainy, filmy, noisy texture. That's just my style. So anyways, that's how I edit a portrait. That's like, I should probably name this video like how to imperfectly edit a photo, because this is how you do it. You know, the picture was too dark to begin with, but then I added these beautiful light leak textures that created this mood. Like, it was kind of sullen to begin with, but now it's like a little bit more sullen. I don't know. Or maybe it's, I don't know if that's true actually. Yeah, but I like it. So, yep, that's my process. If that's is something you're interested in, you need some textures, you can go to the link in the description. I do sell textures. They are currently on sale, but if you're watching this video at a later time, I will also put in a coupon code so that you can get a discount off those textures. And I hope this was helpful. And thank you so much for staying and listening to me. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so happy to share my process, no matter how non-traditional it is. So thank you so much.